So, as a human being, you perfectly know what fear means and how it feels. I mean, you perfectly know how it feels. So I'm gonna show you something that's gonna make you fucking tremble. Just so you know, this right over here is not my work. I'm going to be fixing this today. So I got my soldering iron, I got a few zip ties, and I got some heat shrink, and we're going to fix that right away. I sent over my brother to pick up some new light bulbs and some clips for these, because there used to be a factory socket over here for the bulbs, but we're gonna replace that one because the other one was melted. I got my trusty old soldering iron over here, I got some flux, and I got some soldering wire with lead in it. The lead stuff works better, but make sure to wash your hands after all. So I know you can't see anything because I put the grill back on, but I kinda did a good job. I mean, we have insulation, we have everything. I'm sure that the truck won't catch fire. I'm trying just to prevent fires because we have had some electrical fires happen on this truck. I could have done it better. I mean, it's not bad at all because, as I said, it's insulated. But ideally, I would want to run new cables, everything new, new harnesses, just everything new. That's how I like to do things. But because we are in a rush, because our colleagues called and they need a truck because their truck broke down and they need to haul out manure. So I'm pretty much done with this one. I mean, there's still some little work to do. We have to change the engine oil, we have to fill up with hydraulic oil, and it's basically ready to go. Now that this thing is ready, I'm going to head out and we're going to be spraying all day. We need to spray some fungicides because we noticed there are some shrooms growing around. Not this kind of shrooms, the shrooms that are bad for your plants. So we gotta head out. We already have the, what's it called? We have the thing that we spray. We have the poison. We have the fungicide. So let's head out. Looks pretty funny without the feeder house on. Also, another thing that we did is we took off one of the feeder house cylinders. There's three of them. One of them was leaking to be rebuilt, so that's done. I mean, it didn't make any problems last summer, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And something else that we did. This gearbox is fully rebuilt now. I mean, it didn't have any issues, but we noticed little slack when this thing is operating, like forwards and backwards. And this could mean only one thing, that the gears inside are kind of messed up. The bearings and everything, it's all rebuilt, so it's okay. And we thought about replacing these iron slats for the counter concaves on the accelerator over here, but they look like they could last a year or two, so we won't bother because they're very expensive. I mean, after all, you're working on a German machine and we know this is overpriced though. And if you're curious, this is how we drop the feeder house. You just leave it on the header and you're gonna be fine. I mean, it's not gonna drop at all because it's locked not only by this attacher over here but by the anchors over there. And what we did on the feeder house is, because it had a crack over here, we reinforced it with a, that's about 2 centimeter piece of iron. It welded it over here, and we welded it over here because it had a crack too. I mean, the whole thing is cracking all over the place. It was cracked too over here, so it's welded here. And that's not good because not only is the structure of the feeder house weakened, and it could cause a crash if the header, I mean, the header is pretty heavy, so the header could literally tear up the feeder house in half. And you're leaking grain from over here, and when you're leaking grain, that's losses. You don't want any losses. The chains are going to be lubed up. These can last a year or two more, like the slots on the accelerator feeder. So I think we're gonna be fine here. So that was just a short update before we start. Like, we have to spray some. I mean, in the video that I showed you, I think last time, or it was in this video, I'll see when I start editing. We didn't get to spray because right as we began to spray, it started raining. And as you know, you probably can't spray in rain, it's not very good. So for now, that's it. See you next time.